Alright, I'm going to replace the starter in this 2006 Toyota Corolla XRS. It's the same starter, same part number. Whether you have the C, CE, S, or the XRS, same starter, it's going to be the same procedure. 03 to what, 08-ish, somewhere around there. The only difference with this XRS here is your larger intake manifold, because this has the 2ZZ motor instead of the 1ZZ like the base models and stuff. And your starter, it's actually basically down under here. Now on the other models, it has a smaller plastic intake manifold that gives you some hand room right here. And on those you can do it from the top, but since this is the XRS and it's got this bigger metal manifold, I'm going to have to come at it from underneath the car. Alright, so first and foremost, you're going to want to disconnect your battery here. Disconnect negative first, then positive, reverse order when you reinstall the battery. Now these cars are known to have sensitive mass airflow sensors. When reconnecting the battery, or even if you accidentally touch metal against this, it can short out the mass airflow sensor. And you're looking at over $200 to replace one. So before you disconnect or reconnect, especially reconnect the battery, you want to disconnect your mass airflow sensor. Just don't forget to plug it back in after you're all done and hook your battery back up, or your car's not going to run. Check out all the salt and shit. Yay, winter driving. Alright, so there's the oil pan. There's the oil filter. Shit. Starter. If I can get the hell under here. Oh, God. Alright. Right there's your starter. So you got that mounting bolt right there. That rusty looking thing. Damn it. Alright. So there's the lower mounting bolt. And then on the top, just on the other side, is the top mounting bolt. And you can look at the new one for reference. So I'm just going to have to feel around, because I still can't see it from the top. I'm going to have to feel around to get to that other bolt. I'm going to hit this with some PV blaster first to help loosen it up so I don't round it off. See if I can locate the other one from the top and do the same. Okay, so again, that's the lower mounting bolt right there. From this side. Get my head up in this hole to find it. Alright, so anyways, I just stick my head up in this hole next to this transmission to find it. It is actually, if you see that gray coupler right there, it's just to the right of it. It's almost impossible to get to. So they're 14 millimeter, both of them. I'm going to stick the phone up in here and see if I can show you. I put a socket on it. There it is. So right there's your top mounting bolt. Literally had to like stick my head up in here to find it. But that's where it's at. It's 14 millimeter just like the other. And that one's not rusty. It's nice and clean, so I can't freaking get to it anyways. Well, I guess I could stick a can up there and guess and try to spray, but it's not rusty like these other bolts you see here. It's actually nice and clean, so I don't have to worry about spraying it trying to get it out. Alright, that was a bitch and a half with no room. So, you gotta push that little tab in. At the same time, pull this out. I had to put a big, like, I don't know, channel lock on it and wiggle it while pushing that in to get it out. So, that's your one electrical connector. And then you gotta take this protective cover off here. It's rubber. Let's see if I can get zoomed in there. And you're freaking gotta push it up and out of the way. Okay. So then there's your ground wire and all that shit. So you're gonna need to take this nut off here. think it's a half. At least that's what it is on the new one. Not sure if the old one's the same. Take this nut off, and then you're gonna pull your ground wire off, and then the starter should be free to come out. And you just gotta take the mounting bolts out. So let me get this ground wire off of here. Alright, so that nut was actually a 12 millimeter. The new one's a 1/2 inch for some reason. Common. So don't use a 1/2 inch trying to get that off there around the freaking head. It's a 12 millimeter on the factory starter. So then this ground wire should pull away. Okay, note the orientation of how it's going to go on. That's it. It's disconnected. Now I just need to take my mounting bolts out. Obviously can't really show you the back one, so I'm going to get that one first because it's the most difficult. Then I should be able to come over here and show you this one coming out. There's your back one. Don't lose that little washer. So got it out. Now for the easy one. Oh shit. Where we at? Alright. So there's the bottom one again. It's got the washer. Now this thing's unbolted, but from years of sitting there and being bolted down, it's might have to tap on it a little to get it loose. Alright, I just put an extension on the end here, long extension, and tapped it with a hammer a few times. Got it coming out. Oh, there it goes. Okay. So there you go. Should be ready to come out now. Alright, there you go. One shitty starter out. Then your flywheel's in there, and I see the teeth that it connects to. So let's get out from under the car and take a look at this thing. Alright, there's our starters. Apologize, it's dark in here, but it's 2 AM and I'm on my makeshift garage here. Gotta get this starter done. So don't be alarmed if it looks slightly different. That's normal. Pull this shit off. So the new one comes with this crush washer here. That's going to go over top of your ground wire. So both these pieces, shit. Make sure you hook everything up first and then put both the washer and the nut over top of the new. Alright. Let's get this bastard on here. Alright, so there's your new one up in there. Careful, don't drop this thing on your head and kill yourself. It's like 10 pounds or more. I just gotta get it lined up. I'm gonna start this front bottom bolt first, get it threaded some, leave it loose, and then try to get the back one started. Alright, like that. Now I'm gonna have to go around and blindly feel and try to get that top one started. I may have to snug this up a little more so it's lined up with the hole. Yeah, probably. I'll snug it up so it holds it pretty much flush, but still leave it loose enough that I can pivot it left and right. And get that back one started and then tighten down and come back to the front here and tighten it down. Alright, I got both sides nice and tight. If you're looking for a torque, probably about 60 foot-pounds or so. Just snug them up nice and tight. So I'm going to get this hooked back up. Plug that shit back in. Take that nut and washer off. Get the ground wire back on. Get her hooked back up. Okay, again. Ground wire back on like that. You got to plug back in. I'm going to put this washer and nut back over top of the ground wire. And then put that rubber protector boot back over it. Alright, I got it snugged up. Washer first, then the nut over top of the ground wire. You need to make sure you don't get that rubber boot pinched in any of that while you're tightening it down. Get your boot back over. You need to reconnect the battery. Alright, I got the battery hooked back up. Plug a mass airflow sensor back in. I'll make sure this thing fires up. You hear that hissing? It's just the cold air intake on this thing. Alright, good to go.